Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us for this session. This is a session organized by Shure in association with Sound Ideas Academy. We will today be looking at, this is the last part of the session of 5 that we've been doing. Today we will be focusing on wind instruments. So we've got the flute, English flute, Indian flute, we have the saxophone, we've got a baritone sax, and we have some amazing musicians with us. Firstly, I want to say a warm welcome to all of y'all for joining us this afternoon. Thank you very much to Mr. Pramod Chandorkar for hosting and helping us host this session at his premises. So, microphone techniques and choices for wind instruments. Like we say most often, just be aware of the various microphones and the specifications of various microphones. So from Shure, these are the various options. So we have the PJ Alta, which is more catered towards, home recording and budget studios. The SM series, the Beta series and KSM series are more catered towards professional studios, professional live sound, various applications of that sort. We also have the classic microphones, out of which one of them we will be using today, so the Super 55. And the new era digital microphones, which are, plug and play USB microphones. Always search for what mic works best for your application. So mics in a broad way can be categorized as dynamic or condenser. They both have, some have they own have their drawbacks. Some of them have they have their own pros and cons. Dynamic microphones, as you all might be aware, like the SM58 and the SM57, require a little more gain. That's just the nature of the system, whereas the condenser microphones are far more sensitive. Find the right mic, learn about the operating principles of dynamic and condenser and what the pros and cons of the microphones are. As far as polar patterns, there's a wide variety of polar patterns to actually choose from. Shure makes all of these polar patterns for various applications. Some are for studio, some are for live, some fit more in the corporate the corporate installation market, like the low bar pattern, the subcardioid and half cardioid generally find their place in corporate installations. And of course, be aware of the frequency response. So some of the mics today, in fact, that we're using are flat frequency response mics. Some of them are tailored. Some of them you can tailor by, adjusting the high pass. Some mics you can even shelf the top end. So just be aware of the frequency response. Now one question, in fact, which comes up quite often is, what exactly is the reason that various microphones get their sound? At the end of the day, it's a cartridge. Most dynamic mic cartridges, start or they get their inspiration from the original SM58 and SM57 cartridge. So, considering that is the same, why do mics sound different? And the simplest answer that we can give you is that the mics sound different mostly because of the transformer. So most microphones nowadays come with a transformer. They're transformer balanced. And, there are multiple reasons. One of the main reasons is to just, convert the impedance to bring it up to, modern day spec where you don't have to crank up a lot of gain. And if you take a mic like the SM7B, the speciality of that and why it's a dynamic mic with flat frequency, and that's because it does not have a transformer. But because it does not have a transformer, you need to use far more gain than you would normally do on any other microphone. Okay. So in today's session, these are the various instruments that we have, and we are actually going to get our guests to talk about these instruments. The construction, the age of the instruments, how do these instruments age over time? How does a sound change over time? Various aspects, which we'll have a very good conversation with Shyamji and with Varad about this. These are the considerations that you would always have, and this I have tailored a little more specific towards wind instruments. So, the number of mics used, although it is one instrument, there may be, sometimes in a studio where you have access to more than one microphone, and you can actually use an additional microphone as part of your room sound. So be aware of whether you need one mic, whether you need two mics, and whenever you need two mics, just be aware of phase. Yeah, and especially when it comes to wind instruments that have a lower frequency register. Okay, proximity to the mics and proximity of the mics to the instrument. So be aware of proximity effect, and we'll go through this once more. So proximity effect is an effect that all mics have, other than omnidirectional mics. All other microphones exhibit proximity effect, and it's simply when you bring the mic very close to the source, you get a buildup of low end. So just give you an example, I'm talking from around 3 inches away from the mic right now, and if I come close, it will suddenly start to sound like that. Okay, so it not only will it become louder, but it will also become a little more bass heavy. And there are places to use proximity effect, and there are places where proximity effect is not required. Be aware of the construction of the instrument. So whether it's made of wood, this is more for the musician also, but it also makes sense when you're an engineer. As in, why do different, you might have a saxophone, but they might sound completely different. Not only because of the musician playing it, but sometimes because of what they're made of. Okay, so wooden, ceramic, metal, and fiber. And, whether to consider a mono recording or whether to actually capture the source in stereo. Yeah. Last but not least, and, the most important is, no matter whether you're in the studio or you're live, please always double check phase. Because this is probably one of the most important and sometimes the most overlooked, especially when we are in a live environment. The most overlooked thing is phase. So these are the various options we have today. So some of the techniques, especially for horns, and we see this quite often, is where you have a condenser microphone and it is actually placed a couple of feet above the talent. Now, why do they do this? Any of the horn instruments, have a little sharpness in the top end. And very often that sharpness can be, taken care of if the mic is not directly pointing at the instrument. There are some cases where you require it, but a lot of cases, like in a live sound scenario, you would want that because you want that little more edge so that the instrument cuts through. But very often, even if you point it straight at the bell, you might be making EQ changes or EQ cuts in the top end just to make things sound pleasant. So this is one consideration to be aware of. Try using a figure of 8 pattern with the instrument in the null. And this especially makes sense when you're in a smaller room, because you actually capture the room ambience, which might actually be a more natural sound of the instrument, rather than, and especially when you're using a very sensitive condenser mic, rather than having the condenser put right up against the instrument. It can become quite difficult to control. Some of these instruments, in fact, can be very, very loud. So you have to be, certain considerations have to be there, especially when using even a compressor. Sometimes you need to be a little cautious about that. But this is quite an interesting technique as well, where you use a figure of 8 microphone and you actually put the instrument in the null point of the microphone. Here we come back to the age-old question: should I use one mic? Should I use two mics? Should I use 10 mics? So if you can, at the end of the day, it is one instrument. It should be treated as one instrument. But there may be times, especially in the studio, where the room sounds amazing and you just want to capture some ambience from the room, and in that case you use the second mic. The most easiest technique, I think, to place the question always comes, where should we place the room mic? And the simplest answer to that is walk into the room, listen to the instrument, and realistically wherever the instrument sounds good to you, because even in a room the sound of the instrument can be different from place to place. So walk into the room, see where it sounds the best to you, and place the microphone over there. This, at least when recording things like drums, generally, at least that was the concept that I used to follow. So walk into the room, see where a good balance of everything, where the kick is impactful, where you can hear the toms and the snare, and the cymbals are not too harsh, and kind of place the room mic in that position. Another thing that you can try is actually a ribbon mic. And ribbon mics basically have the tendency to remove a little bit of harshness from the capture. So from the source. So one of the things with the ribbon mics that Shure makes, that we make, is firstly, they're all bidirectional, and they have a slightly different tone from the front and a slightly different tone at the back. So generally, ribbon mics on the front tend to be a little duller, and on the rear tend to be a little brighter, very slightly brighter. So when you use any of Shure's ribbon mics, the KSM 313 and the 353, we've always seen it being used on the front side, especially like guitar cabinets, wind instruments, exactly like this. So the saxophone can be very harsh in the top end, and you actually use a ribbon microphone to actually tame that harshness. And considering the fact that they can also run extremely high SPL, you don't have to worry about damaging the microphone or any such thing. In fact, these ribbon mics have been rumored that we've had people pass 48 volts through them, which would usually damage most other ribbon mics, but for some reason these don't really react to that amount of voltage. It's also made from a slightly different material. It's a material called Roswellite. And the speciality of that material is that firstly, it maintains its elasticity, but being a much stronger material. So that is, give a ribbon mic a try on wind instruments. A few things with regards to tone versus placement. Eventually it always comes down to this, where is the best place to place the mic in order to get the tone that you want for the song, rather than record it and then, baad mein you have to, play around with it on your DAW. So, sometimes just moving the microphones a little bit, a few inches this way, a few inches that way, can actually change the tone quite drastically and can make the tone fit in the song that you are recording. So for a slightly brighter tone quality, keep it a few inches away and aiming into the bell. Okay, but this will also be the most aggressive sound that you will get from the instrument. So choose this if that is the sound that you want to go for. And especially on a live stage, this will, minimize, chances of feedback, and it'll give you much more gain before feedbacks in this case. If you want a warmer tone, then, pull it out a little further. Since the beginning of these sessions, Pramod has always been saying that you require the space, because it's like if you have a saxophone bell over here and your ear is right next to it, that is not the sound of the saxophone. You need to have some space between the source so that you actually capture the natural sound of the instrument. Okay. Further back that you go from the instrument is when you also start capturing a little finger noise, of the instrument. But that is the sound of the instrument, and there are some very famous recordings, some even of the the Bollywood industry from back in the day, where you can actually hear those finger clicks on the keys of the instrument. Okay. If you want the most natural sound, keep it away from the bell and aiming towards the sound ports of the instrument. And this is probably the most recommended recording technique for horns. And if you want a really bright and a really punchy sound, try and use a miniature microphone mounted on the bell. So that's definitely doable with some of Shure's lavalier microphones, because they handle vast amounts of SPL. Okay, and this will also probably give you the best form of isolation from anything else that's around you. So before we get into a conversation with with our musicians and with our guests, these are the mics that we're using today. So we have the SM7B, the Beta 98 HC, the SM27, the KSM 313, Super 55, Twinplex, the PGA 181, and Beta 87C. And for we've over the past few sessions, so we have a little wider variety of mics today, and over the past few sessions we've always come to the conclusion that the SM27 and the PGA 181 seem to be working the best on most of everything. So we'll test that theory again today. Okay, these are how the microphones are placed, and when we switch to the room, we'll also be able to see them. So firstly, I want to bring in our guests, Pramod Chandorkar and Mujibhai. Give us some of your experiences from recording of horn instruments in the studio and in a live scenario. What are some of the issues that you guys have faced? Because most of our audience here tends to be younger sound engineers and some young musicians, and whatever you have to suggest as far as techniques to try would not only be taken back by the musicians but also by the engineers that have joined us. So over to you guys.
So talking about, basically, since we have flute and saxophone as the demo instruments today, I've always found that pointing the microphone straight at the bell of the saxophone results in a horrible sounding saxophone. It doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound good. You won't make anybody happy without a great deal of processing. My approach has, at least for the saxophone, usually been to use two microphones. One like this, so it's sort of overhead pointed at the reed. I mean, most people don't even know that the saxophone has a reed. It's not a brass instrument. It's a woodwind. It's coincidental that it happens to be made of brass. And the other microphone pointed like this, so just above the bell. So this one can be a clip-on, but the mic capsule is not pointed in the bell, it's pointed above the bell. So effectively, both the microphones are pointing at the body of the instrument, one near the reed, one near the bell, but they're not pointed in the bell. And some balance of both of these seems to be the easiest way of getting a good sound. Also, I found that most saxophone players also play flute, which means if they switch to flute, the top mic is already in the right position for the flute. So there's a benefit with that. Also, the position of this mic, there's least wind noise if it's vertically down this way, and most wind noise if it's pointed straight on. So some techniques like shakuhachi flute, Japanese flute, this is the position you want. So very little air noise versus a lot of air noise, pointed straight at the sound hole, very bright, pointed further away, mellow. So you have this movement for bright to mellow, and this movement for a lot of air to very little air noise. And for the sax, of course, the second mic is pointed at them. Also, you know that for a soprano saxophone, there is no bell. The bell is pointed straight out. So if the artist switches to playing a soprano sax, also the second mic will be in the right place because it wasn't pointed at the bell to start with. Other than that, really, I've not really fussed a lot. I do have a little story to tell you, which is that in a forum of recording and live sound engineers in the United States, there was a question on how do you get a saxophone to sound good live on stage. And the first 10 answers were get Joshua Redman to play. So, I mean, a lot of it is in the artist, and there's really very little to do if you pick the right microphones and place them in the right place.
Yes.
Quite honestly, I did a whole concert with Joshua Redman, and he was really very easy to deal with. He did not have any advice or comments for me, allowed me to place my two microphones top and bottom, and he said, you set it up so that it sounds good in the house. So, I mean, for somebody who's considered one of the greatest saxophone players alive, there was minimal, fuss or input. Anything to add or subtract?
नहीं sir, आपने you gave a very valuable information with your experience, and like same things. Funny, what do you say? We have been always discussing about the room mic, the ambient sound, and here the instrument, and especially with horn sections, I would say with Shavraj-ji, the instrument being made of metal and different types, they really have a very unique tone to themselves, like a saxophone, a tenor sax, alto sax, and even coming to trumpets and trombones. Everyone has a different distinctive sound. So as far as my experience with horn sections goes is, I always take care that I choose the right microphone where I am getting, which is able to handle the SPL. Because a musician, especially horn section, is very dynamic. Right. So their SPL keeps on changing. So as long as you have the right position and right microphone which can handle the right SPL, I think the instrument itself and the musician gives the tone what we require, what we always look for.
Exactly. I'm dying to hear from Shyamji.
Yeah, actually, Shyamji would be with his experience, he can answer several questions for us.
Hi, Shyamji. How are you, Shyamji?
Fine, thank you.
So I want to give a brief introduction of Shyamji to everyone that is here. Shyamji is 69 years old. He did his first recording in 1970, which means 8 years before I was born. That makes it 50 years in the business this year. He has pretty much played on any hit Bollywood record that you have heard over the past many years. It's so amazing to have, and he's one of the nicest people you will ever come across.
Fali, if you remember, another important thing to tell about Shyamji is, even if, as he mentioned that he's 69 years old, he is the youngest person in the whole troupe when we are traveling. So Shyamji has been extensively traveling with us and a lot of bands all over the world. And he will be running. He will be the first one in the queue. He will be the first one in the flight. He'll be the first one on stage. So he's the youngest chap in the whole troupe. And
if you call and you say horn section ready, it will be Shyamji that will be the first guy that is ready. But he'll be ready. His sound check will be done in 30 seconds, and that is Shyamji for you. True professional and stalwart of this.
An outstanding musician, a perfect person, outstanding musician. And I would like to let's have a chat with Shyamji.
Yes, please.
Shyamji, आप हमें आपके इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स के बारे में बताएंगे कि क्या टाइप के, थोड़ा हमको इंस्ट्रूमेंट की जानकारी हो जाएगी.
सैक्सोफोन 9 प्रकार का होता है और इंडिया में 4 प्रकार का पॉपुलर है. आल्टो सैक्स, सोप्रानो सैक्स, टेनर सैक्स एंड सोप्रानिनो सैक्स.
ओके. तो बाकी के जो बचे हुए 5 टाइप्स हैं वो इंडिया में यूज नहीं होते ज़्यादा?
नहीं, ना के बराबर है. आजकल खाली इलेक्ट्रॉनिक वही टोन लेके बजाते हैं.
फली, I just lost his audio. एक मिनट.
Still here, very much so.
Yeah, I could have it even.
Shamji, can you just
couldn't have it?
repeat that
maybe
answer?
आपको
I didn't hear. नहीं,
Yeah, Fali,
Yeah, sorry. Shamji, can you just repeat that part, please?
कौन सा पार्ट?
Just the types
बाकी
of...
के 5 पार्ट टाइप ऑफ सैक्सोफोन इंडिया में यूज नहीं होते हैं क्या?
नहीं, खाली फॉरेन कंट्री में होता है, जैसे ही ग्लेन मिलर का बिग बैंड में होता है, और बड़ा बड़ा बैंड में वो ऑर्केस्ट्रेशन में होता है, और इधर तो
अच्छा।
आजकल सिंथेसाइजर लोग वही टोन लेके बजाते हैं.
करेक्ट. अच्छा श्याम जी, इंडिया में व्हेन यू से इंडिया में आपने, इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन, आपने एक्चुअली जैज प्लेइंग से शुरुआत की थी, राइट?
हाँ, मैं नाइट क्लब का प्लेयर हूँ एक्चुअली, और
अच्छा.
और बॉलीवुड में ज़्यादा डिमांड है, इसलिए इसमें स्विच ऑफ हो गए.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. तो आप जैज, पहले आप जैज बजाते थे
हाँ,
क्लब्स में?
जैज, पॉप,
अच्छा.
क्लासिकल ऑल्सो.
ओके ओके ओके. तो अभी भी आपको कभी आपको पसंदीदा का आपकी चाहत पूछी जाए तो व्हाट आपको क्या लगता है कि आप जैज बजाना चाहते हैं? आप व्हाट गिव्स यू मोर हैप्पीनेस?
नहीं, जो भी अच्छा म्यूजिक है वही अच्छा लगता है.
अच्छा.
ऐसा नहीं कि वो जैज ये हो.
अच्छा, अभी ये आज आप कौन सा इंस्ट्रूमेंट सुना रहे हैं अभी?
अभी टेनर सैक्सोफोन सुना रहा है.
अच्छा, तो टेनर में और एल्टो में क्या डिफरेंस होता है?
वो टोनल क्वालिटी डिफरेंट होता है. जितना बड़ा होता है
अच्छा.
ना वो बेसी होता है, और जितना छोटा रहता है वो शार्प होता है.
ओके ओके ओके.
Nice.
मुजीब सर, यू वांट टू, अच्छा, मैं एक्चुअली एक दिमाग में था. श्याम जी, मैंने सुना है लाइक यू आर वन ऑफ दोज पीपल, लाइक एज ही मेंशन्ड यू स्टार्टेड प्लेइंग इन 1970. आई वाज बोर्न इन 1970, सो तब से आई एम श्योर जितने गाने हमने सुने हैं, सो आई थिंक इफ आई एम नॉट मिस्टेकन आप पंचमदा के साथ अपने काफी फिल्मों में उनके काफी म्यूजिक में आपने बजाया हुआ है.
पंचमदा के साथ, एलपी के साथ, नजीम सरोटी के साथ, इलैयाराजा के साथ.
ओके, इलैयाराजा जी के साथ भी. ओके ओके ओके. तो आपका कोई पसंदीदा पीस आप कौन सा सुनाना चाहेंगे? एनी ऑफ व्हाटएवर यू वुड से.
पहले तो नाइट क्लब वाला सुनाता हूँ मैं.
Please, Shamji.
ठीक है, प्लीज.
Okay. So guys, just a second before Shamji starts. So the 4 mics that we have is starting from the left is the SM27, then the Super 55, then the SM7B, and then the KSM 313. So while Shamji is playing, I'll just keep swapping between the microphones and you can listen. All right, Shamji, over to you. Super 55. SM7B. Shamji, let's...
Awesome, Shyam ji.
Very cool, Shamji. Very cool. Let's please feel free to just. Shamji was worried that this is a music session, and we'll ask him to play from some charts, and I'm like, Shamji, you just play whatever you want to play.
Yes.
So
this is your session.
This is your session, actually. This is your session for everyone to just listen to you play. So you can take another piece, Shamji.
कोई another piece, whatever you're liking is.
We're on the SM7B now.
I have played in Mr.
कौन सा बोल रहे थे श्याम जी?
I have played in Mr. India, Hawa Hawai.
Okay, Hawa Hawai song.
हाँ.
Okay. क्या बात है, awesome.
Awesome, Shyamji. Let's take another piece. Whatever you want to play.
If you want to change to an instrument or whatever, Shyam जी, आपको दूसरा इंस्ट्रूमेंट से भी आप सुनाना चाहते हैं कुछ?
We'll now switch to the KSM, the red microphone, KSM 313. Which in this case is more like a room mic. Let's see.
Wow. Shyam ji, I have a question for you. बैठ जाइए please. ये इंस्ट्रूमेंट कितना पुराना है? How old is this?
This is I bought in 1985.
Okay.
Shyamji, tell us about the other instrument which you bought in Dubai, and it's a French-made instrument.
Yeah. Bought in 1971. Bought from France, but bought in Dubai.
Okay.
Nice.
So these instruments are they made in India और ये सब मेन बाहर ही बनते हैं?
नहीं इधर भी बनता है, लेकिन ये रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए नहीं चलता है.
Okay. But does over time मतलब आपने आज 50 साल से आप यूज कर रहे हैं, तो उसका इंस्ट्रूमेंट का साउंड चेंज होता है ओवर द टाइम?
नहीं, और ब्यूटीफुल होते जाता है.
ओके.
सीजन होती जाता है.
Okay.
And Shyamji, how does temperature affect the tuning of the instruments?
Yeah. Sometimes too much air condition, no, becomes flat, like little bit detune होता है.
Correct. Have you ever noticed during a show that the instrument is detuning because of temperature?
Yes.
Wow. Okay,
Shyamji, एक मेरी तरफ से एक क्वेश्चन, सॉरी, ये आप वो अभी सिंथेटिक रीड यूज कर रहे हैं या बैम्बू रीड है?
हाँ जी.
जो रीड अभी आप यूज कर रहे हैं वो सिंथेटिक रीड है या बैम्बू रीड है?
नहीं, बैम्बू रीड है. सिंथेटिक रीड खाली प्रैक्टिस के लिए ठीक है, रिकॉर्डिंग के लिए, शो के लिए
सब बैम्बू ही यूज करते हैं नेचुरल?
नहीं, वो करेक्ट टोन आता है.
करेक्ट, थैंक यू.
Shyamji, can you आप सबको बता सकते हैं what is the actual use of the reed? Because we always, I don't think many people are aware what exactly the reed is doing for the instrument.
Reed is to play from the mouthpiece, no?
Yeah.
Mouthpiece में ये join होता है और ये बराबर होने से फिर बच जाता है. Without reed you can't play.
Can't play. Without reed, it will just be air passing through the instrument. You won't be able to play.
बजेगी ही नहीं.
अच्छा, एंड उसका टोन भी रीड से टोन भी बदलता है?
हाँ. वो हार्ड रीड होता है, सॉफ्ट रीड होता है, प्लास्टिक रीड होता है, बाम्बू रीड होता है.
So, which reed do you prefer, Shyamji?
हाँ, बाम्बू रीड.
And what are the reeds like? There are some times where I've done shows and the instrument sounds very, very sharp and very aggressive. How does the tone change with the different reeds?
Because hard reed means like a top note you get,
Right.
and lower note means that soft reed.
Okay. 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 Shyamji, if you want to play one more piece, maybe with the other instrument, we'll just listen to one more microphone, and then if anyone has any questions for Shyamji or for us, we can take those.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Pali, you want to hear on tenor sax? Or
Yes, please.
alto sax or this one?
On the alto.
Okay.
This is the Super 55. The SM7B. KSM. Awesome.
क्या
Thank
बात
you.
है?
Thank you.
क्या बात है Shyamji. Thank you so much for your time.
Arey, thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much, Shyamji. So enjoyable to always hang out with you, Shyamji. Shyamji is one of the funniest people you will ever come across. He'll be quiet.
Oh,
quiet.
God.
He will listen, and then suddenly one line will come out, which will.
And that will make everyone laugh. Like, and you know, right now, actually, Fali, I was just listening to the music he was playing more than the microphone.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah, all. That's why I didn't even want to announce the mic name while he was. I was just changing in the middle, but it is very, very captivating. Always listening to Shyamji. I think our fondest memory of Shyamji will be when we were traveling with the big band with Sonu Nigam. Last song of the set. Kal Ho Na Ho, and then the last 2 minutes
Solo
of
part,
that
yeah.
he gets a solo to do whatever he wants, and it is Shyamji, those times I still will never forget, because those 2 minutes, they went on for about 5 minutes, but every time you played the solo in like 20 shows, each time was completely different.
It was different.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome, Shyamji. Thank you very, very much for being with us. Any advice?
Mujib sir, you have any questions? Anything about the microphones or anything you would want to discuss? Anything?
No, it was fantastic. Thank you, Shyamji.
And I am using the Sony microphone only. My personal mic.
Okay, sir. Shyamji, anything advice you want to give to young saxophone players? I believe we have some few saxophone players which are on the attendees today. Any advice you want to give them as far as the learning, the practice, the
Yeah, they should practice more, and don't go for keyboard style.
Yeah.
You should do like saxophone style. You have to hear big band.
Which are the bands you'd advise for them to listen to?
Like Glenn Miller, Paul Desmond, Stan Getz, all etc.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you, Shyamji. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, guys. So that was
Awesome.
really cool. Mujibhai, any thoughts?
Well, I like the sound of the 27. I feel the 55 is showing its age.
Yeah.
And it's still the same.
It has that very retro sound.
And look who is talking.
And the ribbon microphone sounds great, but in this demo, it was more or less the way it should be used, which is kind of ambient.
Yeah.
And I felt that the 7 was pointed too straight into the bell when he was actually playing it, so you couldn't get a really good idea of what it's supposed to be like.
Cool. We'll Pramod, any thoughts from your side?
No, as I said, that I was actually enjoying the music, and these like we have been listening to these microphones now like every week, and we have been getting the whole sort of, now we can expect when you change the microphone, what are we going to hear? And it's almost there. So, you can actually, you very well known by the time you start using it well, that, this mic will sound like this kind of a thing.
Correct.
That's what I'm experiencing. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, so
do we have any questions?
I don't see
everyone
any
is
questions.
actually,
I think just captivated
so
by
glad.
Shyamji's playing.
Exactly.
Okay, so there is one question which has come in, and that says, when we have a full band performing live with brass section, what mic is the best to use and miking technique?
Mujib, sir?
Well, same as before, the miking technique doesn't really change, but you may want to place the microphones a little closer to avoid crosstalk from other microphones. If it's going to be like a section, then all of them are going to pretty much play together. So you may even want some of the crosstalk. In which case, we're back to keeping the microphones the usual distance away instead of making them unnaturally close. I don't really see that anything else changes. I do have something like from personal experience. I did 4 tours with a saxophone player called Chris Potter.
Right.
He's a very aggressive, his sound is very aggressive. It's very in the face.
In your face.
And as it turns out, he was very unhappy with my choice of microphones because he said that with my playing, it sounds too bright.
Oh, okay.
And he eventually made me use a clip-on microphone on the bell that he was carrying himself. And it was a dynamic capsule that was, kind of not quite small diaphragm, not quite large diaphragm either. Which was, for my ears, it was kind of very dull, but with his style of playing, it sounded great. So I kept my top microphone, but the mic on the bell was actually his dynamic clip-on, which is so old that it doesn't even have a name anymore. So, it's like one of those genuine no-name kind of microphones that he picked up somewhere along the way in his life, and he's used it ever since.
Right.
So, sometimes the, expensive, high-quality stuff may not be the right choice. That's all, that's all I'm saying.
And I think that's all we're trying to sometimes just get from these sessions that, yes, we are checking everything from something that's very reasonably priced to something that is quite expensive. And, most often you get the correct musician, get the mics in the correct place. And, the differences can be there are differences, but the differences can be quite minor, and you need to choose the stuff based on the style of the person that's playing, based on the style of music that you're recording it for. Doesn't that play like a very big part in all this?
Yeah, it's ultimately it's the context. It's In the demo circumstance, you're listening to individually 4 FM microphones on a single instrument. It's never like this in the real world. It's always, it depends on the nature of the material, it depends on the context of the instrument, and so many other things. So my advice to everybody would be first listen. Don't just get bogged down with brochures and spec sheets and stuff.
Cool. So I think Varad is almost ready. Hi, Varad.
Hi, hello.
How are you?
All good, yeah.
All good.
Hi Varad, how are you?
Hi,
Good to
Varad.
have you.
So, hello. I'm good.
Hey.
How are you, sir?
So,
Varad is another musician who is a legend. He is
No, sir,
more
please.
than 70 years old. Just trying to have some fun. So Varad is a Fali. Yeah, you would want to introduce Varad.
before I started working with Pramod and with Sonu Nigam, mostly I was doing rock and roll and that kind of stuff. I was not very exposed to the Indian musicians, the flute players, the horn players, the violin sections, all that. And I think having been on the road with them for so many years, really some of them have become very dear friends as well. So Varad is one outstanding flautist. Also the kind of guy you don't have to worry about. He'll come on stage, do his thing, 5-second sound check, and then thank you very much. It's perfect. It's a perfectly played show.
And he's ready whenever. Flute and he's ready up there.
Ready.
Most of the times it has happened that we have actually in the full 50-piece band, we have forgotten to check the flute, and then at the end of the sound check, he'll just raise his hand. Hey, I'm left. So yeah, and he plays all sort of different flutes, and he carries all bamboo flutes and then some rice type. So Varad, it's better you only tell about your instrument,
Yeah.
the kind of flute
बेसिकली
you have.
मैं बाम्बू फ्लूट से शुरुआत किया मैंने. फिर उसमें बाम्बू फ्लूट में एक तो बाम्बू फ्लूट ये सबसे पुराना इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, मोस्ट एंशियंट इंस्ट्रूमेंट, एंड नेचर का सबसे नज़दीक जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट है आज तक का वो बाम्बू फ्लूट आई थिंक. तो बहुत अलग अलग टाइप का फ्लूट्स है इसमें. बाम्बू फ्लूट में ही बहुत टाइप्स है, हाई फ्लूट, लो फ्लूट, मिडल फ्लूट. सो इसमें एक सेकंड.
आपके पास कितने 100 फ्लूट्स हैं कितने?
मेरे पास है ऑलमोस्ट. एक सेट में जनरली 30 to 5 फ्लूट्स रहता है. सो मेरे पास 2 सेट्स है ऐसे. और अलग अभी क्या हो रहा है, अभी सब जो नए लोग काम अभी जो काम हो रहा है इंडस्ट्री में और सब जगह, सो वो थोड़ा सा बाम्बू फ्लूट कम करके आपके पास बाकी कौन सा साउंड्स है ऐसा पूछते हैं. सो
You want to explore different sounds.
दैट्स व्हाई आई टुक सम रिकॉर्डर फ्लूट, चाइनीज फ्लूट. सो अभी मेरे पास फिलहाल बाम्बू फ्लूट रिकॉर्डर है और इंग्लिश फ्लूट है. सो मैं
So ये सबको बजाने का तरीका and sound, could you please elaborate on that? Sound wise क्या डिफरेंट रहता है?
हाँ, साउंड डेफिनेटली हर एक का डिफरेंट है, हर एक का टोन डिफरेंट है. सो अभी मैं आपको मिडल ऑक्टेव का एक फ्लूट बजा के दिखाता हूँ, उसका टोन कैसा आता है. मोस्टली मिडल ऑक्टेव का जो फ्लूट है वो, फॉर एग्जांपल पुराने जो सॉन्ग्स हम लोग सुनते हैं उसमें अगर आप सुने चिंगारी कोई भड़के, सो वो उसमें जो फ्लूट यूज किया है वो ये ऑक्टेव का है. तो सो ये टेम्परामेंट जो है मिडल ऑक्टेव का, सो इसमें से ये साउंड है। और बेसिकली हर एक का जो पिचिंग है, हर एक का जो स्टाइल है बजाने का। सो अभी मेरा पिचिंग ऐसा है। सो सेम फ्लूट अगर दूसरा कोई बजाएगा तो उसका पिचिंग डेफिनेटली और साउंड डिफरेंट आएगा। सो इसके बाद मिडल ऑक्टेव का जो है ये, सो इसमें हमने सबसे पॉपुलर जो फ्लूट का पीस है जो हरी जी ने बजाया है, हीरो का, सो वो साउंड इस पे है वो।
Nice. Funny. So right now, what mic are we listening to?
So everything up till now was the SM27, the first mic to the left.
Okay.
Yeah, so the SM27 large diaphragm condenser, we were listening to that up till now. So all the conversation, everything till now was all on that. And I think it's around 2 feet distance, Aviska?
Yeah.
It's about 2 feet distance from from Bharat.
Now, can we listen to the same flute fully on the another mic? What do you
So
think?
let's change the same flute and we listen to it on the PGA 181, which is the mic in the center. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Okay, Bharat. Lovely. So that was the PGA 181 that was in the center, and maybe we can
Now
listen
let's
to
check
something
the-
similar on the one to the right is the Beta 87C. Okay, so let's switch to that. Give me a second. Okay.
If Ali, just
Yeah.
to there is a request to have some reverb also.
Okay. Maybe just to, let's just listen to it plain, and then maybe the last outro piece we will turn on some.
फिर बाद में झाग डालेंगे.
Yeah, for everyone's information, what you hear on stage is always with a little reverb, but it's important for everyone to just hear the instruments as they are without anything else.
Yeah, that's why we are not wanting to add any reverb at this point, because then your judgment starts.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bharat.
सो इसके बाद जो थर्ड फ्लूट है वो हाई ऑक्टेव का है। सो हमने रहमान साहब का जो गाना सुना है हम्मा हम्मा, तो उसमें ये ऑक्टेव बजाया है।
Lovely.
Yeah, Bharat.
That was the Beta 87C. So I'll go back now to the PGA 181. No, actually, Varad's also wearing a very interesting microphone. It's the, last time we heard the Twinplex, which was on the mandolin. And so this time, this is the headset version of the Twinplex. So just for some information about this microphone, let me turn it on first. Yes. Varad, just check this microphone. Is it on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah.
So this is it's a miniature dual diaphragm lavalier, basically. Extremely, extremely tiny. You can see it to slightly to the left side
Can
of
you show the microphone? Where are you wearing, Bharat?
Yeah, it's exactly there, right there.
Yeah.
Just touch kar. That's
Okay,
the microphone.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the Twinplex. It's the headset version of the Twinplex Lav. So we'll just have a quick listen to this. and then we'll play a little longer section and we'll just keep switching between the microphones. SM27. PGA 181. Beta 87. Twinplex. SM27. PGA 181. Awesome.
Yeah. So there is one more octave. It's low octave. So
Okay.
usually classical flute, जो क्लासिकल फ्लूट का कॉन्सर्ट रहता है, सो इसमें मोस्टली ये फ्लूट यूज़ करते हैं.
Okay. Hey guys, this is the PGA 181, the mic in the center. '87. SM27.
तर मी तुला पुन्हा ते रिकन्फर्म करतो आणि ते आमच्या इथे
Awesome. Thank you, Varad bhai.
थैंक यू.
Awesome. तो ये एक क्वेश्चन था वरद, आपको परफॉर्मेंस करते वक्त यू प्रेफर हेडसेट या यू प्रेफर स्टैंड माइक, विच इज़ मोर कंफर्टेबल?
कंफर्टेबल डेफिनेटली स्टैंड माइक ही है. सो मोस्टली मैं जिधर भी कॉन्सर्ट में जाता हूँ प्रेफरेबली मेरे को भी SM58 ही मैं बोलता हूँ. सो इट्स यूनिवर्सल माइक आई थिंक.
कूल कूल. पर आपको नहीं लगता है कि व्हेन यू यूज़ अ हेडसेट वो डायनामिक्स में कंट्रोल करने में थोड़ा मुश्किल होता है?
थोड़ा डेफिनेटली मुश्किल होता है वो। उस हेडसेट में क्या होता है, हेडसेट में आप इधर किधर भी घूम सकते हो स्टेज पे, नहीं तो किधर भी, ये उसका डेफिनेटली प्लस पॉइंट है। लेकिन डिपेंड्स ऑन माइक बेसिकली, सो इट्स अ डायनामिक और कंडेंसर, सो आई थिंक सो मेरे को तो कंफर्टेबल 50-80 है।
Mujibai or Pramod, you all have any inferences?
Well, my personal favorite is still the 87.
87, yeah.
Yeah. However, I usually mark the 87A, not the 87C.
See,
you might want to tell your audience what the difference is.
I'll get that question. No worries.
And of course, in this demo lineup, the 27, of course, takes it all away. But I'm very impressed with the sound of the headset as well.
Yeah, headset. My only thing was I was missing the flute ki awaaz.
And most flute players get upset because they lose control over intentionally moving away from the mic or moving closer for the dynamics, because it's always in the same place. So there's a handicap with the headset mic.
Correct.
We tried headset, we are using a headset also, but finally I always end up being happy with the SM58 on stage.
Cool.
I've actually also tried a clip-on clip to this end, but pointed like this.
Yeah.
And it's the same problem because it's always the same distance from the flute. The musician loses control over dynamics.
Yeah.
So it's a handicap.
सो हेडसेट से एक मेरे को और प्रॉब्लम है कि अगर हाई फ्लूट आप शिफ्ट हो गए हाई फ्लूट बजाने के लिए,
तो निकाल के
तो निकाल के ही बजाना पड़ता है वो।
So एक one question is there basically, can Varad play like a vibrato technique on the flute, and they want to listen to a vibrato technique on various microphones. So we'll start again. SM27 is open. We'll start with that. PGA 181. SM27. Amazing. Thank you. So we have a bunch of questions now, and one says, firstly, is the 87 on the same distance now? It is approximately at the same distance. All three mics are similar distance, about 2 feet away from Varad. And another very interesting, so since the SM58 is used pretty much everywhere, can we actually listen to an SM58 in place of one of the other mics? So we'll actually take out the 87 and we'll replace it with an SM58. So just you can get an idea of, we might have to touch up the gains a little bit.
Actually, that's a good way, because we all spoke about SM58 so much, so might as well hear it.
Cool. Awesome.
And that's Aditya, one of the sound radios pass out.
Okay. Okay, so 1 second. And so what I'm going to do now is, this is in beta 87, so let's turn this down. Okay, Varad?
Yeah.
This is now what you guys are listening to is the SM, give me a second. So this is the SM58 in place of the 87. Just do a comparison with the PGA 181. The SM27.
भगत शो की आदत गई तेरी टेम्पो कहाँ है
Back to SM58. Awesome.
क्या बात है I was going to tell you to play Tanai.
So yeah.
Awesome. See, 58 wins again.
Yeah.
Hands down.
I have nothing to say. Yeah, I mean, it's like with everything else, all the mics have a slightly different sound. It's just the 58 has become the Swiss Army. Well, the other benefit is if your stage has some nails which are out, you can use the SM58 and as a hammer and hammer the nails also.
Fix it also. Yeah, but funny, you guys made the beast first and then got all those things. Actually, you should have made the rest of the things first and got the 58 later.
We were just talking outside that the 58 is such an old
Buddy,
mic.
can you switch the mic? Your camera, sorry.
1 second, let me switch. Yeah. So basically, we were just chatting that the 58 is so old and there are such few changes that have been done to the microphone over the years, and it's. We are actually, for everyone to know at the moment, we're coming on SM58 Day, so which is 5th of August, and we have something pretty interesting planned for SM58 and for the SM58 Day. And if you're stay tuned to our Facebook page, then the what's going to happen actually we'll be announcing very, 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 very soon. So
that sounds interesting. Yeah, that's great.
Mujib bhai.
Yes.
You're still looking very angry.
You're going to have a gold 58?
No, we got to have a... I can't tell you what we're going to have. Sorry.
That's okay. Well, for the record, how old is the 58 now in terms of design? It was, I think, released in 1956.
Yeah, around that time. So it's well over, and like the only modifications which have been done are like, the grill, a little bit with regards to the body of the microphone, but the capsule, for the most part, has not changed.
It's pretty much the same.
Has not changed.
Same capsule as the original, when it was designed.
Yep. And we had a very interesting session. In fact, part of the SM58 Day is a session where there's a person called Mr. Michael Peterson. He's one of the longest time employees of Shure. He's also the Shure company historian. So he's actually going to take us through some of the designs and the drawings of the original SM58 before it actually became a microphone. So that's one thing that is planned, and a lot of other stuff we've also got planned. So I'll definitely keep everyone updated about that. So it's coming up very, very soon. So,
So I think it was a great session, a great series we went through in all the last couple of weeks. And thank you, Varad, so much for your time.
Thank you, Pramod ji, for inviting
thank you
me.
very much.
Thank you, Varad. Good one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Shyamji. Shyamji is sitting behind me. Shyamji.
You can see Shamji.
Thank you, Shyamji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shyamji. And what we will do now is just run through a few more slides, and then we will say good evening to everyone and let everyone continue with their day. So here is the information for Sound Ideas Academy, one of the premier academies for audio engineering in the country. Not only in the country, they have a lot of students coming in from out of the country as well. This is the information for Sun Infonet. Sun Infonet are the distributors for Shure microphones in India. So Mr. Neeraj heads the company, and Jay and Rohit take care of various regions. So Jay takes care of the south, and Rohit takes care of the center and the north. For anyone wanting to send me some questions, please send it to india@shure.com or damanya_fali@shure.com. This is our Facebook page. So now if you just type in Shure India on Facebook, the Shure India Facebook page will come. So everything that we do, all the activities are always, information about the activities will always be up here, at least 1 or 2 weeks in advance. This is the Shure South Asia YouTube page. So everything that's done, I've become a very good editor with Premiere Pro. So I will usually spend 2 or 3 hours after this session at home editing it. And by Monday, this should be up on the Shure Shure South Asia YouTube page. This is the Talent LMS portal. So a lot of the Shure sessions, learning sessions, etc. you will find up on this portal. I know a lot of you are already members of this portal. But for anyone new, the Shure South Asia Talent LMS is the portal. Or you can just shoot me an email and I will send you the link. And that's it. Thank you very much, Pramod, for these it's been 6 weeks. We've had one session every day. Today is the last.
We have to work on some new sessions, new ideas which we have
to work out
earlier.
Some new sessions. Exactly.
So we'll soon come out with something interesting.
Yeah. And thank you very much to Mujibhai for joining us. Always a pleasure, sir.
Anytime. Thank you.
Always a learning experience.
Thank you,
and always
Mujib,
a pleasure.
Thank you.
Also, thank you again to our last pair of musicians, so Varad and Shyamji. Thank you very much, everyone, and stay safe. Take care of yourselves and reach out to us. It does not have to be only for microphones. If you want any information, just reach out to us, and we'll be happy to share or help. So take care, everyone, and have
Goodbye, guys.
Good evening.
Take care. Enjoy. Bye.